All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Colin Murray. I'm the Executive Director for Dane Buy Local. And today we have a special guest. Cheri from Community Shares is joining us. And we're going to be talking about the big share. So first of all, Cheri, before we get into that, maybe you can just give everyone a little overview of what is Community Shares all about? What is
Sure.
the organization?
Great. Yeah, Community Shares of Wisconsin, we are actually celebrating our 50th anniversary this year in 2021. We were formed in 1971. We started off, our first fundraising campaign was to raise money for folks that had been arrested after protesting the Vietnam War.
Right.
And so we have a strong activist history for 50 years. And over the years, the issues that we've focused on have evolved, depending on the rest of what other folks are working on and focusing on as well. But we've always been focused on social justice and environmental justice. So we have definitely a long history of that. Outside of the big share, Community Shares of Wisconsin raises money for 70 local nonprofits through a couple of other different strategies. One is through workplace giving, and so people who have workplace giving at their workplace. If you don't have Community Shares part of your workplace giving campaign, let us know, and we'll definitely be happy to talk with your HR or your employer and see if they can add us in. We also sponsor the CHIP program if you are a shopper at the Willie Street Co-op, or the Roundup program if you're a shopper at Capitol Center Market. And these are opportunities for us to expand the network of individuals who are able to give small gifts to us frequently. And for a lot of folks, we have thousands of people contribute to Community Shares through these variety of different ways every year. And to me, that's a really exciting thing. And when I meet people and they say, oh yeah, I give to Community Shares at the CHIP at the co-op, and I'm like, oh yay, you're wonderful. And I think that Community Shares is just one of those organizations that has kind of been woven into the fabric of the community in a lot of different ways. And so, so we focus on fundraising for social justice and environmental justice organizations. And another quick thing about Community Shares that sets us apart from other organizations is that we are a membership focused organization. And so all of our member nonprofits have a seat on our board of directors. And so that for us, and that has been the case, I believe, as long as I'm aware of. It certainly hasn't changed since the 15 years I've been around. So it's a great model for equity in the community as well. And we have a lot of work to do to continue being a more equitable organization like we all do, but we're proud of that fact as well.
That's a large board of directors, 70 members in the board of directors. I have
Yeah.
15 or so on my board, and I can't imagine doing 70. So you got your hands full with sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, what ends up happening is the executive committee, which is about 12 people, they end up playing more of the role of the more ongoing decision making.
That makes sense. Sure. And the three programs that you outlined there, as far as giving back to Community Shares, are so easy. Just you don't even really think about it. It's like, oh yeah, that's a no-brainer. So we do the workplace giving here with Dane Buy Local. We encourage others to do it. You don't even have to think about it. Once you sign up, it just automatically happens. It just comes out of your paycheck. It's easy peasy. Quick and to the point, and you're supporting such a good cause that you're putting forth out there. So thank you for doing that. So we've got the big share. Today's a big day, kicking it off. Why don't you tell us about the big share? How did it get started? Sure. Where are we going with all of this today?
Yeah, so about 8 years ago, I guess, one of our former well, I guess he's still a donor, but he worked as a consultant with us on some marketing things. Tom Kuplick, at the time, Crystal Anders was still the executive director, and the two of them came up with this idea of doing a giving day to support Community Shares groups. And their reasoning for choosing a giving day is because it further demonstrates our focus on the democratization of philanthropy. And so like you said, thebigshare.org, just go on, the minimum donation is $5. And so what we really want to do is make this an event for the entire community. And I know there are a number of folks that are struggling right now. You know, some folks have not been working consistently since the pandemic, or their businesses have been impacted. And so we really wanted to make the minimum donation small enough so that everybody feels like they have a chance to get involved. And if you don't have $5 to spare, there are other ways that folks can get the word out. And one is by sharing about it on social media. So if you see a post come through, or if you want to link to thebigshare.org and post about it on your own social media, we are thrilled about that. And then this year, the other thing that we've done to accommodate the increased focus on online and virtual events and virtual giving is by creating a new system for individuals to set up their own personal fundraising pages. And so if you have a group, maybe you have a book club or a PTO or some other group of folks that you know are interested in similar issues and have the same values, you could even set up your own fundraising page together, or yeah, see it as an opportunity to get the word out. It could be a fundraising campaign for Community Shares or one of your favorite nonprofits, and there's 70 to choose from, and so there's a lot of fun throughout the day and a lot of great opportunities to get engaged.
So, and you're kicking off the event tonight, actually.
Right.
Want to talk about that a little bit? You've got fun activities coming up tonight. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so like I said, because it's all virtual, we've had to pull everything online. And luckily, the Big Share has always been an online giving day, so we haven't had to adapt as much as we might have for other events. But what's coming up tonight, we're kicking off the Big Share with Drag Bingo. And starting at 6 o'clock, and you can still register. This is the only event in all of our events that you have to actually sign up for, so you can get the link to the Zoom event, because this is one where we have to do it on Zoom. But we're going to have at least a few games of bingo. We're going to have a couple of great local drag performers, and that's sponsored by Madison Gas and Electric. They've been a sponsor for a number of years. And it's just going to be a hoot and fun, and you don't have to pay to participate, but we do hope that you'll share about it on social media and let folks know about it. And so you can sign up for that on the Community Shares Facebook page.
So yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And the event continues tomorrow. Tomorrow's really the official day. Right. So tell me tomorrow.
Yeah, so tonight we'll wrap things up at about 8 o'clock, and then we'll get some rest. And the portal is open to accept donations already. It has been for a little while now. So if you can't wait until tonight or tomorrow, please go ahead and make a donation now at thebigshare.org. But starting at 6 a.m., we will be having a live stream, full day of live streaming, and we'll be featuring some videos from our member nonprofits. So, you know, thinking about the past year and all of the amazing work that our groups have been doing, I'm thinking of, there's a Disability Vote Coalition, for example, made up of Disability Rights Wisconsin and Wisconsin Council of the Blind and Visually Impaired. And the work that they have done over the past year to ensure that voting is accessible to everybody is really big. And also the League of Women Voters will be featuring a little video with them where they're going to be highlighting all the work that they have done over the past year. So there's a substantial amount of work and amount of expertise that exists within the Community Shares Network. And so we're really proud to highlight their work throughout the day. And then we'll be coming in live off and on through the different hours. There's Power Hour prizes. So nonprofits are competing for who raises the most or has the most donors during particular hours, and then they get bonus prizes. And we're so grateful to our corporate sponsors for providing the cash prizes for those. So yeah, if you go to thebigshare.org, there will be a link to the Big Share Live, which is what we're calling our live stream. And that's also going to be going live into YouTube and Facebook as well. And so, yeah, from 6 a.m. until at least 9 p.m. We're actually getting a couple extra videos, hoping to add a little content at the end as well. And it's just going to be interviews. There's going to be some live music. There's going to be a dance demonstration, and it's just a lot of fun. And we really wanted as many people in the community as possible to be involved and to feel like this was a day for them. And so we wanted to include as many videos and participants as possible.
Great. That's a great way to adjust things for this particular programming, because I know usually Tuesday's Big Share is a very active day for you, a very long day for you guys, running around to all these different locations. So you're still in effect doing that, just doing it safely, and everyone can tune in online and watch and still participate.
Right,
so that's
right.
great. So who are some of the other organizations that will benefit from the Big Share?
Yeah. So in addition to the groups that I mentioned, there are a few other statewide level organizations that provide advocacy and support throughout the state of Wisconsin that I really want to make sure folks are aware of as well. There's a group called Legal Action Wisconsin. They are essentially, they provide legal services for folks with low income who cannot afford an attorney on their own. There is the ABC for Health, which does healthcare reform advocacy. And we're going to show one of their videos. They do these educational videos on YouTube regularly about different updates in healthcare policy and coverage, that kind of thing. There are a couple of different statewide groups focused on ending abuse. One is called End Abuse Wisconsin. Another is Wisconsin Coalition Against Sexual Assault. And these groups work on a statewide level to advocate for reforms in our criminal justice system and to ensure that victims of abuse are heard and their voices are being part of the solution as we're creating solutions. And then also we have an exceptional lineup of local leaders working on racial justice as well. Urban Triage is one of our newest groups. They'll be participating in the Big Share this year. Freedom Inc., Urban Triage and Freedom Inc. were two of the folks that were organizing this summer to organize for Black Lives Matter. We have Mentoring Positives, Will Green and Becky Green. It's a program for folks, for kids after school program, and they do some, they make salsa and pizzas and do other ways to employ teens and help them develop some skills and play basketball as well. So there's a lot more than that, and I wish I could remember them all.
So many good organizations out there that are doing great work. And they all need support, right?
Right,
so
exactly.
The way that you can do that and spread a little bit to everybody and help support them as best we can. So who can participate in the Big Share? Who do you have to be connected to one of these organizations to participate?
No, anybody can go to thebigshare.org and search for a nonprofit that you want to support. You might already know the group that you're looking for, or you might get a link from the group that you already support, but anybody can go to thebigshare.org. And like I said, you can make a donation or set up your own fundraising page, share information about it out in your social media. We really, and of course, if you have a credit card, if you don't have a credit card, that might be harder to participate, but you could probably drop off a donation at the office of somebody or give a call and say that you're going to be dropping off a donation or sending in a check. So because it is all online through credit cards. But outside of that, yeah, we're definitely doing what we can to involve as many people as possible and to have as many people as possible feel like this is a day that is a celebration of the values of social justice and environmental justice. And we want people to have fun and to see each other on their social media feeds and to feel like they're part of a really big community.
Cool, cool. And what's, common about Madison is a lot of people were here but have moved away to other parts of the country or wherever.
Right.
And way they can still participate, still feel connected to Madison
Absolutely.
organizations because of the way you've got things set up. So great.
Yeah.
To be able to have
Yeah,
that
we
ability.
always, every year we always, excuse my dog barking in the background, every year we always have donors that come from all around the world, literally. We have donors from other countries, across the country. It's exciting to see how big of a reach we're having with our messaging.
Yeah, and not surprising because you guys are doing great work over there, and people want to support that, and people love Madison. It's a great city, and you're one of the reasons that the fabric of what we have is made up because of you.
Yeah,
so,
well, you guys too.
it does all make a difference. So I think you touched on this before, but just to make sure we didn't miss anything, how individuals can get involved. Anything else that is out there that we should be aware of?
Yeah, I would definitely say, in addition to making donations to these groups, these are nonprofits that are really on the front lines making change, and sign up for their e-news, sign up for their volunteer opportunities. There are a lot of ways to make an impact outside of making a donation. For a lot of folks, if you're working full time, maybe a donation is, what's within your wheelhouse because you don't have a lot of time outside of that. But for folks who are looking to volunteer, there's volunteer opportunities. These are really great groups that are working to make our community better.
Great, great. For many people, including myself, we have good intentions to make a donation. We've got in our brain, okay, March and the next thing you know, you've forgotten to do it. So there's a couple of ways that you can avoid that problem. And I know I'm throwing this question at you. We didn't talk about it in advance. But how could people donate? Remember to donate. Do they have to wait till this evening or tomorrow morning?
Nope, you can donate starting now. And then we also leave the portal open for another whole week after the big share, because we know that some people don't log into their social media accounts 20 times a day like I do. So they might not get the message right away. And we actually receive a sizable number of donations after the day as well. And so when it hits midnight tomorrow, or Wednesday morning, midnight, I guess, there's still time to give. So don't panic. There's lots of opportunities to get engaged. And if you miss out on donating through the big share, you can always give through our website, communityshares.com, because we forward along 100% of all designated donations made on our website as well. So lots of ways to get engaged, or go or through, like we said earlier, through your workplace campaign, or chip at the co-op, or roundup at Cap Center Market as well.
Sure, sure. So yeah, so if you're like me and the day gets past you and you forget, you still can participate. You've got plenty of opportunity to do that. So that's great. So is there anything else that you'd like to talk about or share with us today?
Well, I think just to reiterate how important it is for all of us to get engaged, and how important it is to put our values into action. And I think that's one of my favorite things about the Big Share, is that this is a day for folks, thousands of people to come together and take action together. And that's a really powerful thing. And it's really fun to be a part of that. Just knowing that I'm one of thousands of people that are participating in this day just gives me lots of good feelings. And I've been working these the whole time, but I still feel really excited about it every time the big share comes around. So again, yeah, just taking the opportunity to put your values into action by making a donation or creating your own fundraising page. Yeah, just share about it on Facebook, and let's see what we can do. Let's build up and have this amazing demonstration of social justice and environmental justice values.
Yeah, just on a personal note, when this started 8 years ago, that first year I wasn't real clear on what this was all about. I'd heard about it a number of times.
Yeah.
I wasn't quite clear on what it was. And I set it aside, quite honestly, that day. And Sarah Alvarado posted on her Facebook page that day, the first time that was done, that she had just made a donation. Same thing. She wasn't quite clear what it was all about or how it worked, but she made the donation. It's like, so, Sarah did it. It's like, okay, so I'm going to do this too. So that definitely works to post it book and spread the word. And you never know who it's going to affect out there and who it's going to reach. So that's great. That's great. And do you have a goal for dollars raised this year?
Yeah, we are hoping to reach 500,000. And I'm feeling pretty confident today because we're pretty far ahead of where we were in previous years at the day before. And so maybe people are used to it and they've been making donations earlier, we'll see. But regardless of what dollar amount we raise, just the enthusiasm and excitement that our member groups feel and that the community feels on this day is certainly worth it, and will help us get through these next few months and hopefully get back to some kind of normal.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining me today. I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule. I'm sure you've got a lot going on, you and your staff. So thank you for taking the time to talk to us here. And that'll wrap us up for today. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Thank you.